What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you had a fun and safe and blessed Merry Christmas. I hope you got to have time to spend with your family, and I hope Santa brought you everything you wanted down your chimney. That's right, down your chimney. So without further ado, this is my gift to you. For some reason, Get a Job got taken off of YouTube. I'm not exactly sure why. And when I go to Rumble now, his page is empty. But in my search history, or in my continued watch history, for some reason I could still watch his videos. So I'm going to try and bring these to you as much as I can until they completely get taken down. I don't know why or what happened to his channel and why it got taken down. But let's get into it.
I'm losing my voice, but I think it's a little better today. Even one of my employees was telling me that he woke up this morning. He has the same stretchy, itchy, throat on both sides. So it might be an illegal alien's disease. First, let me ask, is it true or false what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Faye, what's wrong with you? Turn your radio off, your TV off, or down. What's wrong with her?
Go ahead, I'm listening to you.
See, affirmative action, listener.
I don't see why you would let that go through. So morally, I have a problem with that. You don't have a problem with that. The state of Alabama
because
does not have a problem with that.
I don't believe it just because someone said it.
So you don't believe the accusers anyway?
I don't believe it until the proof is there.
No, so you don't believe them at all?
Just like if someone said that about you. But you're in the entertainment field. These women, liberal feminists, hate men.
Well, why does it have to be liberal? Why can't it just be a regular person?
Because normal women don't do this. If someone all of a sudden accuses you, you've been with a lot of women.
How do you know this? You can't make generalizations.
See it all over you.
See, that's that judgment.
You can see it all over you.
You see that?
He's telling the truth, though. You can't believe somebody just because they said it. My brother went through the same situation. He was looking at 50 years. Luckily, the jury could see through everything and seen that the girl was lying. So my brother got no time at all. But you can't just believe somebody just because they say it, just because they're a female. That's what's wrong with this world.
It's that judgment right there.
Have you been with a lot of women?
I've been with a few.
Have you been with a lot of women?
I've been with a few.
Have you been with a lot of women?
I've been with a few.
It's a few, a lot. He cried tears of joy for his mother when she came out as a lesbian. Lesbian. That's not logical. Who cried? This man is a liar. He's a miserable liar.
We see young black men being killed in the streets at the hands of not only each other but law enforcement, and they're always under suspicious circumstances, and there never seems to be adjudication or justice for those who are unarmed and are victims of this. And I think if Dr. King were here, he'd be on the front lines with Black Lives Matter and other organizations, and he'd be challenging this government and this nation to honor the civil rights that he fought for and his generation died for, literally.
Amazing. So this is a hypocrite. This is a liar. This is a bearer of the lie. So Martin Luther King Jr. would be marching with a far left, liberal, radical, agitative, evil organization like Black Lives Matter that was founded by black radical lesbians, phony as a $8 bill. And the weak, pathetic, pitiful, excuse me, man, Obama reached over and kissed Big Mama because this picture, now I don't know if it's real, it's too gross. Big Mama's at the game and she's like holding her arms up, yelling for the team, I guess. And under her arms,
look at her.
It looked gross. And then she's fat as a pig. And then this has to be Photoshop.
I'm sorry, I love Jessie. This is great.
She looks as though she's from the south side of Chicago. That's too nasty. I wonder if Big Mama paid Obama to marry her. She is fat as a pig. I told you Big Mama is eating all the ribs.
Don't ever apologize for getting emotional. It just means you are that much closer
to what's meaningful.
What a
and
girl.
mother who told me constantly how special I was. She would say to me very often, "Mijo, my son, you are meant to do great things in this world. The world will know your name." And boy, did that light a fire underneath me. And my goal was to be a famous actor, then the first Polish Mexican American president of the United States, and then I was
No, we don't need no girls like you. Sorry, Bucko.
going to end racism. I had this cheerleader.
And racism. And racism.
I had this woman, my mom, constantly would dust me off, get rid of my self-doubt, and push me back out there.
Welcome to the Fallen State. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Today I'm joined by some.
Is that him? That is him.
leaders. I have with me.
I watched this Fallen State. I didn't even realize that in that commercial right there, that was this dude. These guys are such women, bro. It is crazy. This was a really funny episode.
Joe Hernandez Kolsky. He is an Emmy Award winning and two-time HBO death poet.
Yep,
Thank you for coming, man.
my pleasure.
Wow, this is going to be fun. I can tell. When you were growing up, were you attacked by the Mexicans for being mixed?
No, never.
Yes.
We both have had very interesting experiences. Like my high school experience, I went to a predominantly black high school in Chicago. I mean, it was the same high school that Michelle Obama went to.
What is a man?
What is a man? That's quite a...
Well, I think was the X chromosome.
I love when Jesse asks these questions to these liberal feminist men, you know. They act like women even though they're supposedly men. I love when they ask them this and they don't know what to say.
Zone X.
Like they're looking at each other for like answers. Like, what do you say? What do you think? What do you think? Like that's not how it's supposed to be. It's so funny to me.
Other than the physical parts of a man, what is a man?
I don't think there is one single definition. I think there are 4.5 billion different men in this country, and they all have their own definition.
Are you a man?
Absolutely.
You are a man. So what is a man, in your
So
opinion?
my definition is I grew up being the best friend of the girls. Like I was always like, I just hung out with girls. And like from the age of 10, when all the boys were roughhousing outside and all the girls were inside dancing on the dance floor, I was like, that's where I want to be.
Wow.
And so, you know, I grew
Amazing.
up. Well, what?
Amazing. Do you identify more with the female rather than the male?
Well, it's interesting. I think I've gone through phases in my life where I was the one boy in the dance class. I was the one boy in the yoga class. I feel
What
different.
caused you to become so emotional?
So I was always taught that it's never wrong to cry. And
Who taught you that?
my mom and my
Really?
dad, yeah.
Did your father know that your mother was teaching you to be emotional and play with your dance with you?
To play and dance with the girls.
A little footloose dance move, and they just
They go
fell in love with
crazy.
me.
Joshua,
Yeah.
other than the physical part of the male, what is a man?
Well, I mean, look, gender's a construct, right? There's a construct that was created to create power. And Joe can have a feeling that creates an emotion in him, and he can express that emotion. And I know that it's my job as his partner, as working with Joe, to go, all right, that's how my friend feels. He's expressing his emotion. But also, I know that I can't let that experience affect me to where I become irrational.
Yeah.
So there's space for emotion.
So do you tell Joe to cut it out?
Those words.
Like, cut out all that mess.
Well,
Act like a man.
Well, we've learned how to accept that we're both
Man up.
we're both very passionate about what we believe
Jesse just yelled at him to man up.
in.
Right.
And so when we get into the creative writing room, we both have opinions, and we really like we hash it out, which is I think a pretty amazing. I think it's pretty powerful what we do. The fact that we've dedicated our lives to navigating what's going on inside of us.
Right.
You said that gender is a construct.
Yeah.
What do you mean by construct?
Construct meaning that it is man-made, meaning that there's no
Man-made?
scientific proof that it exists, except for the rehearsal of it in our society.
Yeah.
Is your father?
You want to know the crazy thing? There are so many scientists that say that there are only two genders, that say God is real. that say that the only logical explanation for the world being here is God. It's so crazy how these people, these liberal lunatics, want to use science as a basis for their argument. Just because maybe a few scientists will say it that are probably also liberal nut jobs. It's funny, right?
Joshua, is your father an emotional man?
My father is a man who definitely has access to his feelings, if that's what you're asking me.
Right. So does that mean, yes, he is an emotional man?
Let me ask, have you seen the movie Inside Out?
No.
Yeah, he would.
Is your father...
Because when that rocket went up, I just want to know if a tear came out of your eye. That's all I want to know.
Have you seen Bambi?
No.
You ever seen Bambi?
No.
Have you ever seen a cartoon movie before in your life?
Pop Out of Sailor Man.
Well, you're missing a lot of art out there.
But I'm just not into
Or like
cartoons
Finding
like
Nemo,
that.
when the little tortoise falls off, and then you're worried that it's not going to make it back.
Why is it that I'm like stunned listening to you guys right now?
Yeah.
About it's okay for men to be emotional. I never, growing up, I never thought I would see the day when I would hear men.
People don't realize that that's the yin and yang between women. Let the women have the emotions. Men need to be grounded in our logic.
Men agreeing to become like a woman.
Well, look,
rather
again,
than to be
as a black man.
Let me ask this.
Yeah.
Why is it that in society today there are people who are trying to destroy masculinity but not destroy women?
Well,
they're trying to turn men into women, but not women.
Let's
men.
go to that question.
Why
because
is that?
It's a great question.
First of all, have you noticed that?
I think I understand what you're saying,
So
but
you
I disagree with the way you're
But
phrasing
you
it.
notice this happening, right?
I notice what's happening is people are breaking down the construct. And so, you look at
But
slavery.
why are they turning
What's up with all this construct stuff?
men into girls?
Well, you look at slavery, and I don't know who they is, but you look at slavery.
The man hated feminists and weak men and
Well, feminists
the
are
media
just...
and stuff like that.
So look,
why are they turning?
let's go back
why are they
to-
turning men into girls, and why are men accepting it? I would never want to be a girl.
Right. Well, you're missing out.
Why?
But let me.
What
so,
about I mean, all that emotion and stuff is not good.
Well, women are awesome, but I also feel like
Awesome?
awesome.
In what way?
How are women
How
awesome?
are women awesome?
Yeah.
If you have to ask that
Oh.
question,
So tell
I don't
me.
know what else to tell you.
How are they awesome?
How are women awesome? I mean,
we can first of all talk about...
Let me
So so if we have a society of nothing but dudes, does that sound like a society you want to live in?
How are women awesome?
Well, that's the answer to your
That
question.
doesn't answer my question.
It does because if by nature,
Are you saying they are awesome simply because they're on Earth and they're women?
that's one of the
just
ways.
start there, sure.
Yeah, like
Really?
the fact
These dudes are weird, bro. Who are these
they
guys?
exist
all it takes
is
for a woman?
amazing. Yeah, a woman
Have
doesn't
you
have
ever
to,
seen...
a woman doesn't have to do much
But you
to
didn't
be
tell-
This dude on the left is even sitting like a woman.
awesome.
Yeah, how
just
is she
by,
awesome?
Well, by the fact that she gets to exist and express, just by that is an amazing thing.
I think, but I do think that there's
You're not-
something
you're
to be
not
said.
saying anything.
But I think in the end, we are
They
7
literally
billion
said nothing.
individuals, regardless of male or female. And when you put them under pressure,
Didn't he just say 8 million males earlier? This dude's a moron.
we know the old metaphor of you take a piece of coal and you put enough pressure on it, you have a diamond. I think that's very important.
Are you
when
saying that women don't buckle under pressure?
I think women have had to overcome a lot.
Do they buckle under pressure?
No.
I
Yes,
think
they do.
people buckle.
No, I
Yes,
think,
they do.
I think some people have
Absolutely
difficulties.
not true.
You don't think men buckle under pressure?
I
Weak
think
men do.
Weak
I
men.
think-
Emotional men do.
I think
but not
men-
real men.
no. I think real men.
Real
in
men
your
overcome the pressure. Weak men buckle under
Yep.
pressure like a woman would do.
No, but I think that's the same can be said
No. This is the feminist talking, saying no. All right.
for women, for strong women and weak women, and I think we all are overcoming our different.
Do you
difficulties.
believe women are awesome as well?
Absolutely.
And what's awesome about them?
In my life has been radically improved by every woman I've ever had come into my life.
That's so sad.
Why
is that
is that
sad?
sad?
That's like just sad.
Okay, so my mother is an
What has
educator.
happened to manhood?
I mean,
Are you just like your mother?
in certain ways I am, but in other ways I'm like my father.
Who was your mom?
Amazing.
Wait, who was your
Well,
mom? Who was your mom?
Katie Peterson.
What did she do for a living?
She was a housewife.
She was, and
Yeah.
were you around her often, or
Not a lot.
No.
He was
No, I was raised by my
grandparents.
Okay, so your grandmother was
Yes.
around. Was she? What was she like?
She was a good, hardworking, decent woman.
Yeah.
But not awesome.
She wasn't awesome.
No,
there was no awe about the work she did.
In those days, women were noble women.
Right.
And they
But nobility
understood-
has a certain awe to
They
it, right?
understood the order of life, and they understood the order of men and women. They wouldn't even want you to call them awesome
Yeah.
because they understood the order of life. And now you have these weak women and weak men
Right.
who they're into the awesome because they're trying to make up for something that was lost.
And what was lost?
Love, strength. The
Right.
men are weak, so the women are weak.
But
And
isn't-
now you got to pretend that they're awesome.
But isn't love an emotion?
No.
Love's not an emotion.
That fallen state love is the
Yeah.
one that when you have anger,
I do have anger
and you have anger. That's why you think that women are awesome.
because I have anger.
Because you become like your mother, you're in a fallen state. So you feel and think like women.
White people came here, enslaved a bunch of people, created genocide.
And then said, "Look what I did."
Look what I did? Yeah, totally. White people totally did that.
What does that color have to do with anything? Number one. Number two, that's just the way things were back in the days. People were conquering all over the world back in the days. It has nothing to do with nowadays. This is what's wrong. These liberals, they stay stuck in the past instead of focusing on the present and hoping for a better future. That's all it is.
And that's America.
The most important thing, though, is to stay stuck in the present.
Absolutely.
But they do that in Africa too. Blacks sell
Who
black,
does?
enslave other blacks.
Sure, humanity's
They
flawed.
use blacks do both.
Why is it a problem when white people do it, but when you say blacks do it to other people in Africa, humanity's flawed? Can somebody answer me that in the comments below? I'd like to know.
Do you agree that if white people become the minority in the United States of America, that the United States of America will become a ghetto?
A ghetto?
First of all,
You mean a place where ingenuity comes out of poverty? Yeah.
No, I mean a place where
That's what
normal
that's
people
what
have to
ghetto
go
means,
to the
though.
moon to live.
so how many hours of Fox do you watch?
None, maybe one.
Okay.
That's a
I
lot.
have
You
all
go
the shows.
deeper than that.
So what do you mean?
Like, where do you get your news from?
I am the news.
He is the
Okay.
nurse.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I can't believe how these dudes act. It's so funny to me how some of these liberal men act. They act just like actually they might be worse than the liberal women. And I say that for the simple fact because at least liberal women are who they are. These men are just such females that they just don't know how to act anymore. But that was my Christmas present to you guys, to bring back a little bit more of a get a job to the channel. If you could also please make sure to watch these other videos. I'm going to link them right now. You guys have a good day, and I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. We'll see you later. Peace.